Hello everyone and welcome to our Saturday live show. So today I have a few things I need to sort of like announce before we get into this show live. So first of all, I have a tutorial which I did, I think it was yesterday. It goes into depth on how to design a business website. This is over 1 hour, 30 minutes worth of tutorial. So yes, it's a massive tutorial. So if you want to have a look at that, I will link it in the show notes. But you can go to the YouTube channel and see that video. It's detailed. It covers pretty much everything when it comes to designing a business website. In fact, I might as well just show you quickly what this website looks like. So over here, this is the main page. The home page. So as I scroll down, you can see here we have the services part, we have the projects, and then we have the contact information here right at the bottom. If I come over here to our team, again here, this is our team. It has a heading area here, and this is the team page. So I show you basically how to design this step by step. Here is the services page. Okay, and then we've got the About Us page and the contact page. Okay, so pretty much the tutorial shows you how to design this complete website step by step. As I mentioned, it's over 1 hour, 30 minutes long. Okay, so today I have a topic which I think is very important because it's all about security. But before I go into that, I can already see that quite a lot of you are already tuning in. And let me just give out some shout outs to Vincent. Vincent, thank you for joining us. We also have Bello Mubarak saying hello from Nigeria. Awesome, awesome. Not sure if I can pronounce that name, but it's A6, I think. Medina from the Philippines. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully, I pronounced that name properly. But if I haven't, please forgive me for that. Okay, we're also broadcasting on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, that's cool. Okay, so let's get started. Now, last week, or sometime last week, I was updating one of my old clients' website. And as I was updating it, I realized that something was not right. Because the files, there were quite a lot of files when I logged into the server via FTP. And something in the back of my mind just said to me, wow, this website must be hacked. And sure enough, when I did my investigations, I realized the site was really slow and it wasn't really loading very fast and working very fast. So I would like in this live show today to talk about security and how you can secure your website and make it work effectively. Right, so I can see there's quite a lot of you tuning in here. We have Viva la Fiesta from Switzerland. Thank you very much for tuning in. George from NJ, I presume that's New Jersey. Monique, thank you, Monique. I can start to see some regulars here on the show, so I really appreciate that, taking your time out on Saturday to tune into this show. So thank you very much for tuning in. We also have Carlos from Mexico. Soton says, saw your computer screen. Not sure what you mean by that, Soton BD. Oh, John, and you know what, John? I will not try to pronounce your surname, so it's not going to happen. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. John from St. Louis. He also says, I checked the theme out last night. It's awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, if you're just joining us, oh, in fact, there's more people coming in here. We have Alfred from Germany. Thank you, Alfred, for tuning in. We also have Toronto Hotspot saying, hello, Mac. Looking forward to learning more today. Thank you in advance. Awesome. Okay, right. So if you're just joining us, I was just saying we're going to be talking about security and tips on how you can secure your own website. And we can go into some Q&As where you can ask me questions, and hopefully I should be able to respond to those questions. Cool. All right. So as I mentioned, there was a website that I was hosting on one of my servers, and sort of like realized that the performance of the website was not really good. So when I did my further investigations, I realized that the website was hacked. So let's talk about how you can stop your website from being hacked. Now, the tips I'm going to share with you are very basic, but if you follow them, you will be able to save your website from being hacked. So let's talk about the first thing. The first thing is a plugin called Limit Login. Okay, this plugin is very good because when people are trying to log into your phone, think about it when someone, let's say, grabs your iPhone or your Android phone and they're trying to access your phone. So I know for the iPhone it's 10 attempts. So after the 10 attempts, it locks you out. So that's similar to what Limit Login does. So when people try to guess your password more than 3 times, it locks you out for about 15 minutes. And then if you go back in and then try again, it locks you out for about an hour, and then it bans you for about a day. So this plugin is very important because when people are trying to hack into your website, obviously they're trying to guess your password. So if you limit the amount of times they're trying to guess, it makes it much safer. I'm not saying it's 100% safe, but it just limits the amount of times that they can try. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to have some sort of login that does this. Now, again, when it comes to this Limit Login plugin, the reason why this is very important as well is when these websites, WordPress websites, are being hacked, 9 out of 10, it's not a process where someone knows you and they come to your website and they're trying to guess your password. All this is done using a process called brute force attacks. So what this is software that run on, software programs that automatically find these WordPress websites and start guessing the password. So it's not a manual situation. So these passwords are guessed using this software. So that's why you need to have this plugin in place. Which brings me to the next point when it comes to passwords. Now, do not use passwords that are very easy to guess, like the name of your car, your cat, your last name, and a number, for example, or just numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or using the password, because these are very easy to guess. So what I do is I use what is known as a password manager. Okay, I can show you briefly what it looks like. I use 1Password. In fact, if I can just ask briefly, how many of you use password managers or know what they are? I'm curious to know if you use these to generate your passwords for your website. So if you use any password managers, just drop it in the comments box. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to check on Facebook and see if we have any questions over here. I can see there are already quite a few people watching, which is awesome. Okay. Just a quick shout out here. We have Abdullah from Bangladesh. Thank you for tuning in. The question was password managers. Do you any one of you use password managers? If you do, which ones do you use? Okay, so just let us know in the comments box. Okay, so moving on. The password manager I use is called 1Password. Okay, so I'm just going to show you quickly what it looks like. And oh, Bello says I do use LastPass. Fantastic. That's very good. LastPass is well recommended. George says where to find the plugin. George, if you're asking about the Limit Login plugin, I've linked it in the show notes, but I can paste it in the comments box quickly here for you. Okay, there you go, George. I've just pasted it in. John says sometimes I use auto-generator ones. Okay, awesome. 1Password. Vincent says, please put links in the show notes below. Yes, I've done that. The plugin that I'm talking about is in the show notes, so take a look at that. A6, I think. Yeah, it says the it's one password. It uses one password. That's fantastic. I can see how to use LastPass. Janith, that will be a topic maybe for another session, but if I have time in this session, I'll be able to share that with you. Okay, so it looks like some of you are already using a password manager, which is fantastic. So what you want to do is to generate a password which is all numbers and letters, something that's very, very difficult for someone to guess. So if you use that password for your website, again, that stops you from being hacked easily by these programs. Now, the next plugin which you need to use for your website is called WordFence. Okay, again, it's in the show notes below. It's called WordFence. Now, this plugin is fantastic because it is a firewall and malware scan. Okay, so this is what it does. And out there, I think this is the best so far that I've used. So it does a very good job of scanning your website and letting you know which files have been compromised, or if you have any plugins that you haven't updated, it also reminds you that you have plugins that are not updated. So this plugin is fantastic. It's called WordFence. Okay. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is the username for your WordPress website. If you use admin as your WordPress username for your website, you're doing a very big mistake, because these brute force software that I've been talking about, they use the username as admin by default, and then they guess the password. So by you using admin as your login username for your WordPress website, that is one of the ways that you can be compromised easily, because it makes the process of guessing that password much easier because they've got the username. So in all my websites, I try to use anything other than admin, okay? Which is, okay, I'll just type in the name of the plugin again. It's WordFence, like that. John says the latest edition is amazing and the dashboard on it is fantastic. Yes, I agree with you. I was taking a look at that and it is phenomenal. In fact, it goes into detail and also shows you the countries that people are trying to come in from. So it is very, very detailed, and all the reports that come with it are fantastic. So I would say if you're not using WordFence, go ahead and try WordFence. It's a very, very good plugin. Okay, I'm just going to check here. Oh, I've got a very good tip here from Chatura saying sticky password is pretty good. There's a lifetime going on at Stack Social. Right, so let me take a look at this, because I've never heard of this sticky password. I'm just checking. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, I can see I haven't tested it. Tested it. I haven't tested this plugin, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it here for everyone to see, so you can try it yourselves. Okay, so that's the theme. Toronto Hotspot says, iTheme security any good? The honest truth to that is I tried using this iThemes security. I used to use it a lot, and their backup software, but it was just too much for me. It didn't work most of the time, but maybe it's because of the websites I was running it on. I don't know, but I just found WordFence easier. So if I were to say which one should you choose between the two, I would say without a doubt try WordFence, because I didn't have a good experience with iThemes security. Usaid Muhammad says, how are you? Hi Usaid, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in, appreciate it. Luis Eduardo says, hi, Mac, arriving, greetings from Spain. Thank you very much for tuning in. I noticed that you were on the show last week as well, so thank you very much. Since you're just tuning in, I'm just talking about security and how you can secure your website. So we're talking about plugins and tips and techniques that you can use to stop your website from being hacked. So quickly, just to run through these one more time. Your username, when you build your website, do not use the username admin, because this is the default username that is used when these softwares are trying to guess passwords on your website. I also spoke about the limit login plugin. The limit login plugin is fantastic because it limits how many tries you can guess a password. So let's say you tried 3 times, it will block you for the next 15 minutes. And then if you try again after 15 minutes, it will block you for the next hour and so forth. So limit login plugin is very, very good. The third one I was talking about here is WordFence. WordFence is a firewall and malware scan. So again, this is one of those plugins that you need for your website to protect it from being compromised. Okay, so let's see if there's any more questions here. Sakari says, hello from India. Thank you very much for tuning in. We also have Vitali. I'm new here. Can you please, Mac, make more videos about how to set up membership plugin with on DIVI theme? Usaid says, can you help me build a LMS website? Thanks in advance. Learning management system. Yes, these are courses that are in that I'm working on at the moment. So I have a how to build a learning management system website, similar to what you see on DIVI University, and so that's one of those tutorials that I have coming up, and also that membership plugin or membership website. Again, as I mentioned last week, this is a tutorial that I'm also working on, which is almost done. Okay, so moving on. Let me also mention that yesterday I did a detailed tutorial on how to create a business website. This is a 1 hour, 30 minutes tutorial. I think yesterday, not yesterday, but this tutorial, I actually broke my own record because I don't have a video that long, 1 hour, 30 minutes. So go and check it out. It's a step-by-step process of how I built this website. In fact, let me show you quickly what it looks like. So this is the website that we'll be building, and it's a step-by-step process. So this is the home page. So as you can see, it has the services part of it, the projects, and the contact information here. We also have the Our Team page. There we go. And by the way, this is a video. So that's the team page. Here we have the services page. So basically, I show you step by step how to build this website. There's also a part in Photoshop where I show you how to create this image and how to make it dark. And then finally, we have this contact page. So that tutorial is free. You can go ahead and check it out right now. It's on my YouTube channel. In fact, I can link to it straight away. Oh, Vincent says, the marketing company I build website for uses WordFence, top notch. Fantastic. It's great to hear that there are, some of you that actually have experienced this or have heard of this plugin. So definitely that's really cool to know. So go ahead and use these tips and try and secure your website, because this is very important that you definitely use these tips, because I've used this for a very long time and they have worked for me. So those are the tips I have for you today. So now that I've covered these tips on how to protect your website, if you have any questions, you can throw them in comments box. I'll do my best to respond to them. Last week, we had a great Q&A, which I really enjoyed. So hopefully you have more questions for me today. So let's go ahead and do that. And now, before I answer those questions, by the way, there was a request about creating more Market Hero tutorials. I would just like to say I also created a Market Hero tutorial, which shows you how to connect your opt-in form. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly show you the link to the video that I did yesterday. So while I'm doing this, if you can post your questions, that'll be cool. Right. Okay. All right. Here it is. So there we go. There's the link to the video, how to design a business website. There we go. Right, I can see some questions here. I've got a question here saying, or a comment saying, your videos are nice, but those ones are nice for beginner level. I think it's a good idea to do more professional videos. Yes, I agree. Now, I understand where you're coming from, that these are beginner level videos. The challenge I have now is when I do the more professional videos or the more advanced videos, a lot of people start saying, well, those are too complicated for us. We're just beginners, so can you make beginner videos? So I'm really stuck in between. But what I will do is I will also be touching on a few topics which are a bit more advanced, and but at the same time continue with these videos that I'm doing, because based on my stats, it looks like majority of people really enjoy these beginner type levels, because it's about the learning process. Because I have really beginner videos where you learn how to say, for example, set up a WordPress website. This may be very basic for you, but then it goes into even more detail on how to build websites. So the idea here is to just try and mix everything. So that's the plan, to just try and mix the more advanced tutorials and also the beginner type levels, and just keeping that balance. But thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Okay, I've got a question here, how to make price compare website. Okay, so these type of websites, price comparison websites, these are websites which you cannot build just by using WordPress and Divi, for example, or any page builder for that matter. You would need a very good plugin that does that. And at the moment, I haven't really looked into that, because I mean, it hasn't been a type of website that I've always wanted to build. But I would say this is probably a plugin that could be able to do this feature. So it's a matter of going out there. The places I recommend for plugins is Code Canyon. They have premium plugins. I remember back in the day, I actually used a directory plugin from them. It was very good. So I would say go to Code Canyon and take a look at that. But it is definitely going to be a plugin that you install on your WordPress website, and that will allow you to build that price comparison website. Otherwise, you just have to go in and find a programmer that does it from scratch, but this can be very expensive. Okay. Toronto Hotspot says, would love to see you build 3 identical sites, one with Divi only, the others with Astra and GeneratePress for comparison. Now, straight away, I can say to you that DIVI, okay, comparing DIVI and Astra, I think they don't pretty much work along the same lines because Astra, although it's a very lightweight theme, it's fantastic for what it does and the customizations and all that, but it doesn't have the complexities of a DIVI or Beaver Builder or Elementor in terms of laying out the site itself, the backgrounds, the colors, and all of that. So in most cases, you want to use Astra in combination with DIVI or Elementor, because Astra gives you the theme framework, which is light and very fast, and then the DIVI plugin will actually bring the layout aspect of the website. So comparing these two wouldn't really work because Astra is not a page builder. It's just a theme, which is of course fantastic because I use it myself, but you'd need to use it in conjunction with Elementor, Beaver Builder, or even DIVI itself. But I use Astra with the DIVI plugin. Okay, and GeneratePress, I really haven't used GeneratePress, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. I guess this is something that I may go in and take a look, because what I will be doing as well in the future is I will be doing some reviews of these themes and plugins, so keep an eye on that. Okay. Alfred says, you did not mention the safety certificate. Is it just assumed to be a regular standard? Right, let me touch on that. What Alfred is saying here is he's talking about the SSL certificate. Now, here's the thing. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to show you two websites here. Okay, right, so here I've got two websites. I've got the DIVI University website. So here, if you take a look, just going to close this. If you take a look at the top, right at the top on the address bar, right here, okay, I'm sure you can see where it says HTTPS and then : / and then the domain name, right? That means that this website has SSL on it, secure socket layer. That means that any communication happening on this website is encrypted. Okay, so let's say you come to this website and you want to buy one of my courses here. The whole process of you entering your information here, your name, your credit card details, and all of that, everything is secure. So which means that the hackers won't be able to get your details if they were, let's say, keeping an eye on this website. Okay. Now, if we do the same here and take a look at WP User TV, and right here I haven't. And by the way, you can sign up for this free WordPress course if you want to do it. It's 100% free. Anyway, I was saying here you can see on the top we don't have the HTTPS. Now, if I click this eye icon here, you can see it says your connection to this site is not secure. Okay. Now, here's the thing. It's important as well to have this, but having HTTPS or the SSL does not stop your website from being hacked. This is just about the communication that is happening between the user and your website that is encrypted. Okay, so I just thought I'd make that clear, but thank you very much for that. That's a very, very good question. So this just allows the communication between the user of your website and your website that communication itself is secure. Okay, so it means that it cannot be hacked into when you're communicating through the website. But from what I hear, Google is going to make this compulsory for websites to have SSL. And if you don't have SSL, this is going to be a situation where your websites will not be ranked, because this is what they're working on behind the scenes. So it's very important that you have this in place. So thank you very much for bringing that up. Okay. Bonzo says the limit login attempts plugin has not been updated for 6 years. Yes, it hasn't been updated for 6 years, but to be honest, it does the job. And in fact, let me take a quick look here and see how many people are using the plugin. Right, so if you take a look here at this plugin, you can see that it still has 5-star. So it's just a small plugin which does the job, to be honest. So I guess it's one of those plugins that doesn't need a lot of updating, because the core function of the plugin is, you know, it does the job. And I mean, I didn't realize that it was last updated 6 years ago, but to be honest, it's still working fine and it does the job. Okay, let's take a look here and see if there's any questions. Right, so I have a question here from Louise saying, Mac, I'm creating a website where we're going to sell web design packages. What is the best way to achieve this? You know, clients, it's hard to get text and info. How do you sell these packages? Okay, I mean, I can share with you a few things that I went through when I was running my own design agency. Now, when it comes to selling your packages, I think the most important thing is to really find your target audience and market to those people, because it's not about the packages themselves. It's how you present them to your potential customers. So you may have packages that have, let's say, 5-page websites, maintenance free for 1 year, and so on and so forth. What companies are really looking for are they're looking for someone, a freelancer or a company that does a very good job of doing that job. So one way that I would say you can really focus on is showing your potential clients that you can do the job. This is through maybe creating some videos or even talking about your value proposition. What are you bringing on the table? Now, once you've done that, this is where now you want to get known to your target audience. So let's say, for example, like in my area here, I live in Birmingham. Let's say I'm trying to target small businesses here and show them these web design packages. Now, where do I go to show them? Definitely doing leaflets doesn't work. So one way I'll do this is maybe create some videos which just enlightens these small businesses about the importance of whatever your packages that you're doing. So let's say security is one of the important things in your packages. Like what I've just done today, you talk about the importance of security, how websites get hacked. So basically you're educating people and also providing the solution. But you need to do this to your target audience. So as I mentioned, let's say as an example, I'm here in Birmingham, I need to approach small businesses. Where do I go? So the places to go are, you go to Chamber of Commerce, because that's where the small businesses really sort of like congregate, right? Then another place that I could go is the IOD, Institute of Directors. These are organizations which have key business owners. So this is where you want to present all your packages. So I would say that's how you'd want to do it. And I hope I am answering this question right, Louise. So if not, can you just elaborate that on the question as well, and just let me know if I've left out something. Claire says you can't please everyone all the time. That is very true. Poe says, hello, Augustine. You must be so occupied that you have not resolved my DIVI 3 tutorial, which I signed up weeks back. Sincerely appreciate your response. Thank you. Right. Now, first of all, can you send me an email stating the issue where you're having? And then I can respond to that, and also include your name, because what happens sometimes is I can see your name here, but it may not be the name that you're using in your email address. So it's very difficult for me to find out which is which and who is sending me these questions. Now, if you signed up on WP User TV, the free course is the WordPress course, but the DIVI course is a paid course. So I'm sure you're trying to access the paid course, but if you've paid and you can't access it, then definitely please do send me an email ASAP, because you definitely need access to that. So it could be something that's not working correctly. So Paul Douglas, please send me an email and let's resolve this. Okay. There's so many questions here on Facebook. On YouTube, let's take a look here. I can't pronounce the name here, but I'll just read the question. The question is, thank you very much for your answers. What free membership plugin is best? Okay, that's a very good question. When it comes to membership plugins, right, I do not use free. And this is because I want to have most of the features that I need, because majority of the time when I use the membership plugin, it's mainly because it's going to bring me more money, or I'm trying to create paid content. So I've never, to be honest, used a free plugin. What I do is I just sacrifice whatever. If it's $90 per year, just buy that, and I normally get that money back within, a few months or even a week, depending on if someone just buys my course. So I would recommend that if you are trying to build a website which you're going to make money off of, start your investment right from the beginning and use these paid plugins, because by using the paid plugins, you get extra support, and they're also programmed well. Now, the plugin that I recommend here is MemberPress. I will be doing a review about MemberPress very, very soon, so keep an eye on that. Okay. Alfred says, thanks a lot. Now I understood the concept. Awesome. Toronto Hotspot says they have another plugin called Loginizer. I think now I haven't used that, but thanks for the tip. So this is referring to the Limit Login plugin, which has not been updated for 6 years. Now take a look at that. But I would say the main thing is, if the plugin works and it does the job, as John says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, if it's working, why change it? You know, so that's pretty much what I work with. Now, I also like to add to this. When it comes to security on websites, I use services. In fact, I've used HostGator before. Now I use a combination of InMotion hosting and also Flywheel. Now, Flywheel takes care of your security, by the way. So if you're someone that doesn't want to mess around and go into setting up these plugins, of which is not even a difficult job, to be honest. But if you just want the hosting company to take care of that, I use a company called Flywheel, which is similar to, there's also another company, I'm forgetting the name now, but if the name comes, I'll also mention it. But they take care of the software, but it comes at a price. Hosting one website will cost you $15. So you can imagine, compared to about $2 that you get with, or $2.50 that you get with InMotion hosting. Okay. I'm just checking here to see if we have more questions. And by the way, if you'd like to learn how to design websites using WordPress, I have a free course that I'm giving away. The link is in the show notes. You can go ahead, sign up for the WordPress Mastery course. It just pretty much covers everything that you need to know about WordPress. So go ahead and sign up for that. And also, if you'd like to learn how to design websites using Divi and learn how Divi works and everything in Divi that helps you design websites, I have a course called Divi Blueprint 3. Again, the link is in the show notes below. There is a discount, 50% discount if you use a coupon code DV50. So go ahead, try it out. It's a fantastic course. I'm not just saying this, but based on the feedback that I've had so far, people are happy with that course. And once you sign up for this course, you'll also be part of the new course that I'm working on, which is going to be an update to the Divi course, because as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of things that have changed since I've done the course. So I'm working on the updates now, the updated version of the course. So you will not pay extra for that if you sign up for this. And the price will be going up definitely once the new course is up and running. So I would say if you haven't signed up for this Divi course, go ahead and do that now and then secure, you know, your next course update. Okay. Mahindra says, I want to talk to you. Yeah, you can post your, from India, post your question on here, and I'll do my best to respond to that question. Okay, let's take a look here if we have any more questions. Okay. John says, the Divi course is fantastic. Highly recommended it. Very organized. Thank you very much, John. Really appreciate your feedback. Really appreciate it. Okay, so it looks like we've covered pretty much all the questions. We're going to round up our live show today. So again, I'll be here next week, next Saturday, giving you some tips. And if you have any questions, we're also going to be going through some Q&As and just generally hanging out, talking about WordPress and Divi. So thank you very much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. If you have any topic suggestions, you can just drop them in the comments box below, and then I will talk about those on Saturday next week. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great weekend.